frantic efforts for the former council officials to hand over. And as a matter of procedure, we wrote a letter to the National Secretariat of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, who is the parent body of the council, to notify them that the former executive have refused to hand over the document as well as the accounts of the council to us. In the process, the National Secretariat wrote a letter to the UBA notifying them of the need for the change of signatory. This letter is dated March 12, 2025, and is addressed to the branch manager, United Bank for Africa PLC, Utako branch. And the heading is introduction of the new executive of the NUJ FCT and the request for the change of signatory. Our names are in this letter introducing us. And it is quite unfortunate that despite the efforts and the intervention by the National Secretariat on this matter, the UBA, United Bank for Africa, have blatantly refused to honor this letter coming from our national body of the union. And to that effect, on our own from the council, wrote another letter dated 11th of April, referencing the same letter and the need for the bank to effect the change of the signatories. And up to this moment, the bank has refused to honor all these documents. At the last Congress of the Council, which was held at the April 12, 2025, the Congress in session resolved and agreed on the following. The Nigerian Union of Journalists FCT Council, at the end of its April 12, 2025 Congress, unanimously resolved that the following people should stop the impersonation of the current executive of the NUJ FCT Council forthwith, and as a matter of urgency and necessity, should hands off the signatories of the council to UBA at bank accounts Naira account number 1022765326 and Naira account 10140575659 with the account name Nigeria Union of Journalists, and as well as dollar account number 300-294-1904. Immediately, they are as follows: Mr. Emmanuel Ubechi, the Special Advisor to the Governor of Cross River State, Abuja, and Mr. Patrick, an editor, Abuja Enquirer newspaper. He's also the editor of Abuja Enquirer newspaper. Then Mr. Patrick Osadebamu, the immediate past chairman of the council, who is also a staff of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And Mr. Uchiaka Ugu, the former secretary of the council, who is also a staff of the People's Daily newspaper. The Congress in session also resolved that NUJ City Council does not recognize Mrs. Gloria Essien of the Voice of Nigeria as its representative ex officio at the Nigerian Labour Congress FCT Council, and should stop the impersonation forthwith. The Congress also resolved that the Nigerian government, Federal Capital Territory Authority, corporate bodies, individuals, diplomatic communities, general public, should not transact any business with this fellow forthwith, and that anybody that do any business with them in the name of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, LCT Council, do so at his or her own risk, as they are no longer the officials of the union.
And he went to the bank personally, because we had to ask him, did you send anybody? He went to the bank personally and made a lodgement of 24.5 million into the NUJ account. However, we did ask him whether there was any money paid back to him by the NUJ, and he acknowledged the fact that the NUJ gave him 8.3 million naira for renovation. Now, in this document, there is no 24 million naira in this document. This 24 million naira was paid in 2020. So it should have formed part of this record. But on this record, what we found in this record was 14 million paid into the NUJ in this record as rent received in advance. That is what this record tagged it, rent received in advance, 14 million. We scanned through the entire documents to find out where the remaining 10.5 million is. We could not place our hand on where that balance of 10.5 million naira is, because they did not show up to explain where that money went to. Now, this money was meant for the rent of that property for 7 years. One other curious thing that we found out was the fact that the rent and total rent for that period from both the OTs and other tenants were lumped together as 33 million naira as rent. Who paid what? What did they pay? It's not documented in any part of this audit record. And knowing how audit records should go, we are compared to believe that there may have been some little compromises, because anybody who does not have any accounting record may not be able to understand the details of this thing. Finances, income, and expenditure were all lumped together. Who paid what? Where were this money paid to? And also curiously, no receipt was issued. There are no record of receipt issued, even to the tune of either the 14 million in this record or 24.5 million paid. There was no receipt to that effect. Like I said, for all the tenants, the rent that was supposed to have been collected was supposed to be 33 million, but we don't know, and there is no record anywhere to show what any of the tenants paid, which of the tenant paid, which of the tenant did not pay. And please, for your information, we are talking about the first tenure of the executive. We did not have any record to deal with the second tenure of the ESCO. So whatever revenue they generated, either from rent or whatever source, we could not place our hand on it, because there were no records, and there were no bank records, because the executive even refused and had even issued warnings to the bank not to attend to the ESCO. So there were no records from that. Now, we also looked at this record. We found out that they said for the 3 years that staff remuneration, that is in terms of salary, was about 5.2 million naira as salaries to the staff for 3 years. And this was at a time when the highest paid staff of the NUJ was earning 25,000 naira. So, if you have 5 staff,